Hi friends, it's Terry from Naked and Famous Denim here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and today I've got a special fade review to share with all of you guys. Before we get started there, give us a quick like and subscribe so we can keep these videos going. So, in front of us today, we have a pair of Matcha Selvedges. Okay, they've been sent in over from Kieran from Toronto. And these ones are a pretty cool pair. My brother has an identical pair, but I don't think his are far along as these are. But yeah, it's just the exact type of recipe that I like. It's a nice dark indigo on the outside with a good dark weft there, made from the natural matcha tea there, which adds a lot of color and pizzazz to the wefted jeans, which you're gonna see a lot more of when we open them up. So let's take a look at these jeans. Let's open them up. Oh, here we go. We got a quick little note from Kieran in the back there. I'm just gonna read about there, kind of give you guys a little background on these. So Kieran's had these for about 16 months. They've had around 3 soaks, 2 washes. The last wash was, of course, around Christmas time. Spent most of life in Toronto, a lot of city life there, some hikes, and he says even some raves over in Spain, which sounds kind of cool. So yeah, you grabbed them from our buddies at Dutil, and yeah, it looks like he's really been enjoying these. Oh, there's some secrets inside. So we'll take a look at that secret inside as we go for the fades. But for now, let's get that nice top to bottom big shot of these fades there. So there we go. Right away, let's just talk about the initial impression on these jeans. It is a dark indigo there with a slightly darker weft. So that means like all these fades are kind of popping more of that kind of electric blue that you expect to see when you get a darker weft. So at the top with the hardware over here, really nice fades on here. The old right hand coin pocket, hand in the pocket, waiting for the bus. Great little fadage over here. Definitely, that's exactly what this individual was doing over here. Of course, these are our bronze colored buttons made just for us by YKK. It does say Naked Famous on one side and little rivets over there that say Je t'adore tout nu, which is pretty cool. It means I love you all naked. There you go. Okay, let's just go from the front down over here. Was this individual wearing a belt? I'm not going to say, I might say no. I'm going to guess no, because there's a fair bit of fading along the front, the waistband over here, especially in the front here. This kind of implies that they weren't wearing a belt, especially because their hand can kind of rub through there. So I'm going to say no belt. Going across here for those front of the lap whiskers, pretty good, pretty pronounced. I mean, these are really nice high contrast fades over here. There's your big whisker across the front on both sides over there. Pretty good. Of course, these guys are Weird Guy 29, so definitely it's a smaller, it's a tighter pair. I think they're worn like kind of like a medium tight there. It's not fully horizontal, but again, it's relatively pronounced there. So it wasn't super baggy in the thigh area either. Moving down the leg over here, we can pay attention to the kind of like that nice vertical streaky slub pattern here. So this is kind of what I call like a medium slub, like a medium light slub there, but you can really see it there. So in the high fade areas, it's really popping up like a white fuzzy waterfall. But even the darker areas, you see all those like white spots there. It's kind of boop, 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 all those little slub yarns poking out, saying hello, reminding you that this is a really nice slubby jean over here. Taking a look at, oh yeah, inside. Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, wait, over here. Okay, yeah, we got a really nice big fade zone right over here, kind of the pocket. Again, yeah, we got the whiskers going on over here. Really well faded here. I'm not too sure what could have caused that there. It looks like maybe something was left in the pocket. It's a good thing, kind of like a square outline of something, maybe an AirPods case. Looks a little bit small for that. Let us know your best guess of what that is. Okay. Down the legs over here, not much of like the front knee phase that you get from some people who do a lot of, let's say, more like heavy work, like carpenters, warehouse and stuff like that. So that kind of makes sense. Kieran says mostly office work and stuff like that. So the front knees aren't beat up or anything, which is kind of a rare to see actually. Often you see those kind of beat up there. Of course, the reminders of those honeycombs peeking around the back of the knee. We'll get to those later, but I always like to see those getting hinted at. Right in the bottom here, we have a lot of fun kind of going on here. So we kind of got like the whole 9 yards in terms of like lower leg fading there. This area tends to see the least amount of fading there, but that means you're just going to get higher contrast from your stack fades over here. So these are definitely some stack fades over here. We have some inner leg rubbing, classic friction over here. And then you can see like right on the bottom of the cuff, there's all kinds of stuff going on. For sure, these jeans are cuffed Right here, this is basically like completely unfaded, but we have massive blowouts over here. And there we go, look at that. A little handmade Sashiko style repair with the white and the green there, kind of, you know, paying some homage to the matcha colored weft on the inside over here. So I want to kind of repeat this. I'm going to unfold this for you and show you what this gentleman would have been doing. So we're kind of cuff it once, and the jeans remember where they want to go. And give it that second cuff, and you can kind of guess exactly why. Look at that. Look at these fade lines on the inside there. Was this darned? I can't quite tell. No, it just looks really heavily worn. But there was a big blowout. There was a big blowout over here. So I could point that out there. And they put another piece of fabric behind it to try and protect it. So they would have been like stacking this, like, you know, it would be like a double cuff like this, and it been stacking. So you get like all the wear in the world over here. On the other leg, we have a bit more of a better example of an unrepaired version. So here's that hole, my little hand poking through. Again, so it's quite high up the jean. This been one fold, two folds. Jeans remember where they want to go. Look at that there. So it would have been a little bit of like, you know, like cuff drag on the back of the heel over there. That's not unusual there, but it means that you get kind of like those stacking fades and these cool kind of cuff fades. So really, really fun bottom of the pant fade with this gentleman here, and I love to see homemade repairs. Moving on to the back side of the jeans here. Starting in, we have our waxy patch here. Of course, this was a pull-up leather, and pull-up leather is, you know, amongst the best for like in terms of durability, for just like, you know, maintaining everything. It looks like it still has a little bit of that, a little bit of those waxes there, kind of pulling up the surface when I put my finger behind it there. These guys survive washes really, really well. So pull-up patch, great condition. Yeah, backside. Take a look at this. Classic, I would say classic phone fade, but that's way too small for a phone. Looks like a wallet fade. Is it Naked and Famous denim size wallet? I would say just about, just about. It could have been, it could have been. There you go. So again, we got like a little bit of a seat of the pants over there. All right, looks like it's an unusual fade right below the cheek lines there. Our Mr. Kieran must have had some goods in the behind region. That's my prognosis. Okay, down to the combs, magnificent. Beautiful, beautiful example of honeycombs and a high contrast fade over here with a nice dark weft, really kind of giving all like the whole range of different blue and white colors over here across all the gradients. Really moving inside to the inseam there with our flat felt seam, looking particularly nice as it transitions to the front of the leg. I really like that. I think that's pretty neat, especially like how that, yeah, the kind of like that inseam really amplifies the fade because it's a bit more raised, it gets a bit more friction. Fantastic. Gentle rubbing on the behind here over here that you don't see on the front of the leg. Kind of neat. Not too sure why. Pretty cool. So inside the jeans, I want to show you a little secret. Kieran told me that he met Brandon at Detail, and Brandon left a little sign for him. So Brandon has seen these jeans in the whole room because a sign there says NNF, Brandon Sark, August 2025, I believe there. So it's kind of cool that, you know, almost makes it look like it's his jeans that, that he wore and he faded there, but not quite. You just give him a sign at the meet and greet that, everyone here at Naked and Famous loves to do. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for these really, really cool jeans over here. Great fades. It's the type of fades I particularly like. Nice medium slub, nice high contrast with a darker weft. Magnificent. So there we go. Cool pair of jeans. Thank you so much, Kieran, for sending these in. If you have a pair of Naked and Famous jeans that you think are really cool, really faded, and you want to share them with us, yeah, just send us an email to info@nakedandfamousdenim.com. And yeah, you send us the jeans. We'll give you guys a great deal on your next jeans so you can keep that jean fading story going forward. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys the next one. Bye-bye.